but Wes is a very popular announcer, not only in, iRacing's a small gig, but he works at Speed 51, MAV TV, all that stuff in the real world, goes to tracks and stuff. So he's a real life announcer, not only just iRacing. And I've told him time and time again, I think he's the best voice in iRacing, in my opinion. Well, that's the thing. See, like for me, I use XSplit, and it gives me race control inside of XSplit. Like I can actually control everything from that. Pause, fast forward, click on drivers. It gives me race control from there. So the only thing that I know to do is like you create hotkeys to do that, or you crop the screen to where you can't see those and stay in that to where your mouse doesn't show up. That's the two things I figured out so far.
Yo.
It's going live.
Yo.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Swag TV, Team 126 Racing, ComServe Wireless, Maslin Family Racing, Studio Displays, and Swag Online E-Graphics, we welcome you to the season opener event for the American iRacing League tonight from the Rockingham Speedway. This evening on Swag TV, 40 laps for late model stocks on the track at the Rock in Rockingham, North Carolina. That'll be the first race on tap, followed by the main event card with a 60-lap super late model show. Good evening, I'm Wesley Outlet of Speed 51 and MAV TV Short Track America. We are ready to go here this evening for coverage of the American iRacing League as the drivers of late model stock car racing prepare to get ready to go racing 40 laps around Rockingham Speedway, and then it will be a 60 laps in late model race, 100 laps on Swag-TV as you're just seeing the final moments.
Let's keep it clean, please.
Practice.
Like I said, your first fault's going to be EOL, second fault is going to be a park lap, or the first week is always sketchy.
So we'll get ready for this race. So we'll be back and we'll join you here in a second. Qualified looks like Parker red slab right now is the main man that is out in front.
Or tires, so take it easy. It's
He's
40
doing a
laps,
phenomenal job
awesome
at the top of the board. Parker red slab, Jackson
The
Crowder,
first start is on
and
the
Tiffany
green
Holmes
flag.
currently
Everything
in
after
the
that
top
is on the
three.
leader.
We'll get
Stay in
ready
your
for
lane.
getting qualified as
Obviously,
these drivers
whenever
are
you
on
take the green
course
flag
getting
until
ready
it
for
starts
their
to define,
events.
you can't pass anybody high. If they miss a shift, you do have the okay to go around them. But don't just jump to start and then say, oh, you missed a shift, because we'll
Dustin,
look at the
can you
in-car
mute
cam.
your
We will keep your mics open.
We are having some audio issues. We are aware of that here on Swag TV. We are going to leave the broadcast for just a few moments to make some adjustments, and we will be back from Rockingham before the start of the 40-lap late model stock event. More of the American iRacing League when we return on Swag TV. Back here on Swag TV, getting ready for the late model stock event. It will be 40 laps for the drivers of the American iRacing League Late Model Series. This is the late model stock portion. Welcome back to our coverage on Swag TV. We are having some audio issues. We are aware of it. We will do our best to keep the show rolling. As right now, Parker Retzlaff and Ryan Matthews on the front row. Loma Jackson, Crowder, Grayson Ward, Trey Lapsevich, Robbie Keneally, row 3, Holmes, Quadras, Leisure, Axton, Meyer, and more. Green in the air, we're underway here at Rockingham. 40 laps for the late models. Back straight away, opening lap given to Ryan Matthews. One of those drivers that was competing for the Sarah Speed 51 Super Series presented by Epic Media a couple of weeks ago. And that 51 machine now powering out the iRacing entry down into turn number 1. Opening laps underway with Ryan Matthews leading, Jackson Crowder in second. Parker Retzlaff third, Lapsevich and Keneally. Robbie Keneally currently in the top 5 as they work their way into turns number 3 and 4. No change in those positions. Ryan Matthews up the racetrack. Here comes an opportunity down to the inside by Crowder. Peeks in on the bottom as well to the apron. Is going to be the machine of Parker Retzlaff. He can't get there in time. And they work their way almost 2 deep. Now trying to go and stick it 3 wide as Retzlaff closed it in. Is also Lapsevich, Keneally, the top 5 as they work their way to the back straightaway here at the Rocking turn number 3. A big race so far. Again, 40 laps the distance. In this 100-lap event, the main event will be the Super Late Models. They will go for 60 laps here around the Rockingham Speedway at the Rock, and Billy Smith will be joining me on the broadcast for that event. I'm solo here for the late model stock portion. As Jackson Crowder still continuing now to put that car number 54 to the lead, getting around Ryan Matthews. And we actually have a caution on the Speedway. Caution is out, problems on the Speedway. We'll take a look at a Team 126 Racing caution flag, and we'll find out what the caution's for here on a replay of why we're under the yellow flag for the first time here at the Rockingham Speedway. So again, the caution by Team 126 Racing caution flag. What took place is again Team 126 caution. See our over here. Hype of why we're under the yellow flag. And we were trying to have our feed catch what happened, but it looks like we're going to go right back to the green flag here. Actually, we're showing you what happened. Actually, trying to find the caution, actually, is what it is. So we'll find out what happened. I want to say it might have been the 54 Jackson Crowder, the red 54 car, I believe. It's you know, he's Ryan Matthews was the man out in front, and now you got Jackson Crowder in front of him, so we are under the yellow flag. Ryan Matthews is leading the way in the number 51 machine. Parker Retzlaff for the number 2 spot. Trayton Lapsevich is third in the 32. Got to hang out with the Lapsevich family down at the 53rd Snowball Derby in Pensacola back in December. Robbie Keneally, the California native, currently in the top 5. Timmy Holmes, Grayson Ward, Tony Quadros, Thomas Axton, Sean Leisure, all these drivers currently in the top 10. We got a yellow flag. First caution of the race, presented by Team 126 Racing. Also want to thank ComServe Wireless, Massman Family Racing Studio Displays, and Swag. Swag E-Wraps and Graphics. For your business or for virtual racing as well. Let Swag take care of you. And again, this is a production of Swag TV. So under the yellow flag here for the first time. Still parading under the yellow flag. Looks like the lights are going to go off of the base truck. And see high above the blimp view at the rock. We'll try to get ready to go back to green. Rack them and restack them down on Thunder Alley. $40 laps to distance in race number 1. This is the cars portion, kind of a mock, if you will, virtual race with the late model stocks. The super late models will be coming up here later tonight. That'll be a 60-lap race. And the pace car getting ready to the pace truck actually dropping on pit lane here at the rock. Green flag goes back in the air. We're back to it again. Wow, look at this. Everybody fighting on from position, which backs the crowd around in front. Parker Rex left down to the number 2 spot. Ryan Matthews will fall back to 3rd. He's got some company there to the inside, 5 laps to the finish. Closing in also is Bobby Keneally for that spot. Bottom of the racetrack inside. Parker Rex lap for Ryan Slater, Wisconsin, looking to the inside on Crowder for the lead. He'll pick him off and make it happen at the number 42. Still finding on the inside is Crowder, and the outside is Crowder. Trying to fight and get something going here. And it looks like we have another race 126 caution flag. So another team 126 racing yellow flag. We'll slow things down here. Second one of the race. We're going to try to find the replay to show you what happened. Racing, proud sponsor of our caution flag coverage here. Swag TV.
Swag TV.
Yeah, we hope you're enjoying Swag TV Esports as we are live at the Rockingham Speedway. Truck to possibly show us an instant replay of what happened of why we're under the yellow flag. We are now 9 laps into this 40-lap race. Daniel is out in front, leading the way, followed by Kyle Meyer. Actually, they're going to take time to score. My apologies. He was still in a battle with Trayton Laps and Jackson Crowder. Parker Retzlaff, Trayton Lapsovich, along with Ryan Matthews, Robin Keneally. Another yellow flag, stopping things here. The American iRacing League Late Model Series. You've seen them on Late Model Supers and Legend Cars. Now they're doing Late Model Stocks and Super Late Models Friday nights on Swag TV. We are aware that the audio was having some glitches. Our apologies on that. We'll work on trying to get that fixed before the next race. Billy Smith will also be joining me in the booth for the super late model portion of this. 10 laps in this 40-lap event with Jackson Crowder still the man leading the way. Again, this is the late model stock portion of Swag TV's coverage of the American iRacing League. They'll come back here in a little bit and run in the late model, the super late model portion. And that will be a 60-lap event. Here they come back to the restart zone at the rock. Green back in the air. Back to it again with Crowder ready to bring them back up to speed. Parker Retzlaff right behind him for position. We are back to racing one more time. Thank you for those that are watching on Swag TV Esports. Crowder, a little company. Here comes Parker, red slap down to the inside. He'll try to make a run for the lead at the bottom of the racetrack as they go to the start-finish line. He heated up at the turn number 1. Crowder throws the block on the bottom, shuts the door, cuts off the air on the machine of red slap. Parker, red slap, ready to capitalize. Here comes Ryan Matthews as well. They are 1, 2, and 3 for those spots. As they work their way into turn number 3 and turn number 4. Back to start-finish. No change in positions. And the race continues on here for these drivers. There's Crowder, the red 54, the man out in front, along with Parker red slap. And we have another Team 126 Racing caution flag. Caution out again. Well, we'll find out what happened here. Why we are under the yellow flag for the 3rd time. And here's a look why. In the wall, you see some other cars. Like possibly might have been a little net code issue is there. To find out what happened to the 83 machine, that is, of course, Brandon Gagnon. Out of Pineville, North Carolina, you see him get a little loose and fishtailed. And that's the reason under the caution flag. So there's the reason what happened. Caution out, 3rd time in the race. Under the yellow flag again after that accident. So we're going to get added the problems as well. By the way, I forgot to mention our production people as well. And the production side of things tonight does in McGinnis. It's taking care of things on the other side of North Carolina in Gastonia. I'm in Clayton, North Carolina. And they actually got me right before I was actually getting ready to get some shut-eye, believe it or not, pack it up and head down to Dillon Motor Speedway tomorrow to handle announcing obligations for MAV TV for the 11th running of the New Year's Bash Street Stock Nationals. And I have done some work with Swag in the past last year. And all of the branch extended the ability to have me come work this event, maybe some more, and enjoy. We got some audio issues. We will fix that. If anybody comments, we are aware of that. Just want to let you know we are aware of the audio issues. But Crowder is out in front. He is leading the way, along with Parker Redslap. They're 1 and 2. Ryan Matthews is 3rd. Holmes and Lapsevich currently are your top 5. So the lights are off on the pace truck. We'll look to come back to the green flag next time by. This is again the late model stock portion of the race here at the Rock for the opening race of the American iRacing League Late Model Series. This will feature late models and super late models every Friday night during the winter months. And you see real drivers and friends of mine that are in the field, like, you know, Parker Redslap, Ryan Matthews, a Legends racer, Drayton Lapsevich, Robbie Keneally races up on the West Coast. I think the Ward, Kyle Fowler races up at Langley Speedway, Southside Speedway. Think of some other names, Tyler Payne, involved in that big event that is the E300 or the Blake Morris Tribute race. And the green flag going back in the air. We are back to racing here. 17 of 40 laps in this 40-lap late model stock contest. Jackson Crowder currently the man that leads the way. Ryan Matthews in P2. Parker Retzlaff third, a little sideways there for a moment by Trayton Lapsevich. He looked like he was dirt tracking it there off turn 4, closing in, trying to reel in on Retzlaff car. A couple of drivers up in the northeast. You got Trayton Lapsevich from Canada. And you have Rhinelander, Wisconsin of Parker Retzlaff. G10 safe, their way off the corner out of turn number 4. Back down to the start-finish line, closing in on halfway. And it will be halfway next time by in this 40 lap. Moving in for the late model stocks, a little push up the racetrack, an opportunity for 3 wide. Thought better of it. They'll back her down. One bounces off the wall. It gets airborne. He wheel hops off the retaining wall, off the safer wall barrier ring 2. Holds on to it. I think we are still green. And this race will continue on. And I want to say it might have been Brandon Gagnon. And they are going to go under caution. The Team 126 Racing caution flag will come out again. Another piston by the Banana Republic flag. And we'll find out what happened here on the race. It all started with that one car. And wheel hops off the retaining wall. In the 83. Ryan Williams also comes time. We'll find out right there up in the air. 21 and the other car got into one. I think it's Eric Steele. If we could show it one more time, I want to say it's Eric Steele that got into him there. And we'll take a look at a replay. Watch the 21 machine, the car number 21. That's Landon Pimpleton. Right there off the wall, but he had some help. And it was Eric Steele, the man of steel. Or was it Sean Leisure? It's a triple-digit car. I want to say it's the 032 of Eric Steele. Another look at another replay presented by Team 126 for our caution flag. And again, that is why we are under caution here. See him getting loose. He bounces off the wall. And then a couple of other cars get turned in the process. So we're under the yellow flag just after halfway. We'll pause for a moment. More coverage continues on Swag TV Esports. Getting ready for the restart here with John Crowder out in front, Jackson Crowder actually, as they make their way back to the restart box out of turn number 4. Pace truck is in, green flag goes back in the air, bottom of the apron goes Crowder. We have about 16 laps to go here in this late model stock 40 lap event, and then it will be the 60 lap super late model race. I will be joined in the booth with Billy Smith, and we are aware of the audio issues. We will fix that in a nice professional broadcast way. We will rectify that at the conclusion of the late model race. Nonetheless, Jackson Crowder still continues to hold off pursuit by Parker Retzlaff. He now pulls away about 2 car lengths, maybe more. Timmy Holmes now in the mix in that battle. Here comes Ryan Matthews, Lapsevich, Keneally, all in this middle battle, single file down the racetrack, and another visit by the caution flag. Another Team 126 Racing caution flag, and we'll show you the replay of what happened, why we're under caution, because I did not see it happen in real time. We'll find out what took place. And I believe our producer, Dustin McGinnis, has found it. Let's find out. Turn 77, into the wall, flying through the air with some help. And that was Trevor Ward. And the air up there for the 33, flying through the air of David Polins. Trevor Ward, David Polins get together. Let's see this in real time. Watch Polins up the racetrack along with Ward, and they both go airborne. And there's the calls of the caution flag. Yellow flags once again presented by Team 126 Racing for the caution flag. That is why we're under yellow flag. By the way, thank you also to ComServe Wireless. ComServe Wireless for all of your Verizon wireless needs and Verizon Fios needs. They have 24 locations in 3 states, including the Commonwealth of Virginia, Maryland, and the Keystone State of Pennsylvania. Let them take care of all of your needs at ComServeWireless.com. We also want to thank Massman Family Racing for jumping on board. MFR, Massman Family Racing, Studio Displays. Thank you for Studio Displays being a part of the coverage. And, of course, Swag Wraps Online, Swag Wraps Online. And, of course, that's also part of Swag E-Wraps and Graphics. Reality, they have a new location coming soon in Rake City, USA, in Mooresville, North Carolina, within the next month or so. And they're based, of course, out of Virginia. Let them take care of all your needs. Swag E-Wraps and Graphics, and again, proud sponsor and partner of Swag TV Sports. We'll come back with more coverage from Rockingham Speedway. The American Racing League continues on Swag TV. Getting ready for the restart after that multi-car accident with Ward and Polins. Ready to go back for the restart. By the way, Billy Smith Jr. is back on the lead lap. After that last sequence of caution flags, we'll get ready to go back to the restart zone and go back to it again. There is 12 laps to go When they come back to box, green flag back in the air. On the inside is Jackson Crowder. Crowder on the bottom of the racetrack. Parker Retzlaff is there on the outside lane. They're going to battle side by side. Behind him as well, it's going to be Holmes and Matthews, like leading Noah's Animals to the arc down into turn number 1 and 2. They're still 2 by 2 by 2. Behind him is Lapsevich and Keneally, Ward and Folds, all in this mix up the racetrack. Goes Retzlaff. Jackson Crowder will come back and take it on the bottom of the racetrack. Stay 4 car lengths back as they work their way back to corner number 1 and 2. And the laps wind down. 10 to go next time by here at the Rock. And a caution. Another Team 126 Racing caution flag, and we will find out what happened. Caution out again. Here's a look. Your replay, what happened? Oh my goodness, here we go. 07. You know, that kind of reminds me of the last NASCAR Cup Series race that was ever raced in Rockingham. What happened to my good friend out of Rougemont, North Carolina, Carl Long, when he had something like that happen to him, and it happens virtually tonight to the 07. Dylan Batista. Dylan Batista, the 07, watching got turned. Little net code there. You can see the car blinking and disappear, and then you see Batista get on the wall and just kind of rim right up on the inside. Coming 1.5. Stop. So caution is out. Again. We are aware of the audio issues. We are working on getting that fixed as soon as possible. When this race concludes, we felt like you needed to see the race. When this race concludes, we will make adjustments to fix the audio. Once this race is over, we will work at fixing the audio and get things better for the nightcap, the big super late model race. And Billy Smith Jr. of Swag will also be joining me in the broadcast booth. Again, let us get these final 10 laps out of the way, and we will fix our technical issues we are aware of. Thank you. Chevrolet number 54 out in front, leading the way of Jackson Crowder. Laps winding down. We have 8 remaining. They are counting caution laps. And we will settle it out here with Jackson Crowder, Parker Retzlaff, Timmy Holmes, Ryan Matthews, Trayton Lapsevich in the top 5. Still under the yellow flag. We'll come back for the restart on Swag TV. When they drop the green, I'll be ready to call the action. Flag back in the air with Jackson Crowder leading the way. 54 machine. Laps are winding down with Parker Retzlaff down the outside lane. Along with Timmy Holmes. Side by side. Down the back straightaway. They go. Laps wind down. 6 And this race coming to an end. Can we bring this to the checkered flag for the race opener, the one at the Rock for the American iRacing League here in the tournament. 2 off the back straightaway, trying to close in is Matthews. He's in the top 5, creeping in, trying to make the move with Ward, with Retzlaff. Into turn number 3, into turn 4. Laps winding down, back to the start-finish line. Race coming to a shootout finish here.
I don't know where you're at, Kenny, but all right.
Jackson Crowder, the man out in front, he still leads in the red 54. Timmy Holmes
Good save,
in that second position. You see the top 10 on the ticker on the top. Behind Meyer, it is Quadras, Folds, Gagnon, Polins, Kyle Fowler, Pimbleton, Tyler Payne, along with Gregory Moon, Massman, and Billy Smith Jr. in the top 20. I think I'm hearing driver audio again, Dustin. As we watch this again, laps winding down here to the stripe. It'll be 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go now for the driver, Jackson Crowder. He is still the man out in front. He leads the way, the back straightaway. Jackson Crowder up 2 spots.
Inside 12.
Retzlaff is right there. Parker Retzlaff ready to pounce like a coiled cobra on his prey. They're going to come to the line, to the white flag. 1 more lap to go.
Just slam me into the driver's.
Final time around. Jackson Crowder, can he hold on to it? And no, we have a caution flag. We're going to go to the overtime. Another Team 126 caution. And the white flag, yellow is out, and we are going to overtime here at the Rock. Team 126 racing caution, and we are going to show you what took place and why we are going into overtime here in this late model stock. Now extended 40 lap feature. And here we go. Watch this battle. Brandon Gagnon gets into the 3 of Ryan Polins, and then they turn each other in the middle of the corner. Between turn number 3 and 4, there you see it again. Polins, the red car, Gagnon on the bottom of the apron. And it looks like it's kind of rode up with one another and just proceeded to then just ram and bump and bang and hit. And then they took each other to the apron and back up to the racetrack again. And we'll see from the blimp view now. The blimp never lies. There you see Gagnon got turned into the driver left. Into Polins. Don't know if there might have been a little neck coat there or not. Ryan Polins is guard out. David Polins, my apologies, Ryan Polins. By the way, David Polins had some problems earlier in this race, though. He was the driver that got caught up in the air up there with Trevor Ward earlier in the big wreck. And we are under the yellow flag. Shootout coming up on Swag TV from the Rock with the American iRacing League. Shootout time here at the Rock. Ready in overtime for this race between Crowder, Retzlaff, Holmes, Lapsevich, Ward. They're in the top 5. Green back in the air. Green, white checker. Shootout coming up, and they're fighting for it again. Up, car in the wall. Out of turn number 2. They'll hold it. Will stay green. No caution yet. We got one flipping down the back straightaway, and they still did not throw caution, as it is in the back of the pack with Jackson Crowder still leading. But caution will come out again. Another Team 126 caution, and we will go back to overtime one more time. Well, here we go again. Caution out again. We'll show you here when we finished it, where we saw the car hit the wall. And after it hit the wall, everyone else quickly on the binders. Back to one car into the 18, and they go flying away. Rocky Daly in the Tyler Payne. Rocky Daly from the West Coast of California. Tyler Payne from the Commonwealth of Virginia. And there is the calls of the caution. Overtime number 2 coming up. We'll try this again. By the way, we are aware of it. I promised Millie Smith of Swag-TV, and then we will get it fixed after the conclusion of this race. We wanted you to see the race, obviously, in its entirety before we had to take care of those issues, but we are going to get it fixed after this race concludes. So we will probably skip interviews or just grab a word with the winner, if that, and we will work on getting that stuff fixed as quickly as possible. I will tell you also that there is kind of like a little wintry mix in the Carolinas, and it is freezing rain and cold and only 33 degrees where I'm at right now. So the weather can have a lot to do with that too, but we are aware of the audio. We will get it fixed, and we do apologize for the inconvenience. We are on lap number 45, or 46 actually, in race number 1. 60-lap super late model race coming up. We are going to overtime. By the way, shout out to Charles Wooten, LSR TV in the house, watching live sim racing. Charles checking out the broadcast. Thanks to all the other people that are watching as well on Swag TV. And believe it or not, Dustin, it is now snowing in North Carolina, where I am at right now, calling the race. It is now a winter wonderland. Go figure. We'll set them up for the shootout for the 3rd time, double overtime, when we come back here on Swag TV Esports for the American iRacing League. Green, white, checker, shootout number 2. Ready to go with overtime again with Jackson Crowder and Parker Retzlaff on the front row. Parker Retzlaff has such a strong car. Just has not been able to, to capitalize. Jackson Crowder really strong in that 54. We're back to green. Shootout attempt number 2 with Jackson Crowder bringing him to speed off the back straightaway. Going to turn number 3. Hopefully this time we'll see the white flag. Jackson Crowder, the BC Workshop, GTR Simulators, Track Tack Tire Treatments Industry will come to the line at a turn number 4 to the stripe this time by. White flag in the air. One more lap to go, but Retzlaff is there. Retzlaff gives him a chrome horn going to turn 1. Has the run in a spin. He gets Crowder loose. Lapsevich is in the wall. They're 4 wide. They're tangling. Matthews crashes. They're still crashing. Flying through the air. The big wreck. They're going to race to the checkered flag, I believe. Checkered flag. It looks like Ryan Matthews.
Matthews, we love you.
In this race. Or will it be someone else? Matthews. Lapsevich, checkered flag, Levon Vandergeest over Lapsevich for second, third. I know the audio sucked, but humdinger, what a wild last lap. 4 wide to the checkered flag. Actually, the audio doesn't sound that bad. I'm listening to the replay. In the race over, though, they're saying checkered flag. I want to say Ryan Matthews has won this race, and he has. It is over. Ryan Matthews out of Virginia, from Mechanicsville, Virginia, in the 51 will pick up the win. What a wild shootout on the last lap. Let's see it one more time, shall we? Holy cow, what a finish. Yes, it's a Team 126 racing caution, but the race is official. Watch them one more time. You knew it was coming. It started with John Crowder. He gave him that chrome horn. It started with Crowder getting the chrome horn there. Jackson Crowder battling with Parker Retzlaff. The 54. Then he had nowhere to go. Polins and others caught up in it. And a shootout to the checkered flag. Watch this one more time. Our producer for Swag TV, Dustin McGinnis, is trying to picture it. Normally, we go right to the results of the race and everything, but this is such a wild finish. Billy Smith, you might want to use this as part of your highlight reel for Swag TV or the American iRacing League. Holy cow. Watch them stick it 3 wide, 4 wide, Timmy Holmes and more. And here it comes. Let's hit play. Turn 2. Retzlaff to the left rear. Got Crowder loose. Lapsevich in the wall. Oh, stuck it 4 wide. Want to say 5 wide if you want to for a second. As Landon Pimbleton went to the top shelf where Grandma hides the cookies from Grandpa. They made it 5 wide off the corner, and then calamity to the checkered flag. And all the while, 51, Ryan Matthews, ready to pounce. He takes it and puts it to victory lane in a wild shootout. For the American iRacing League, race 1 here at The Rock. Wow. You see the top 10. The winner, again, Ryan Matthews. Levon Vandergeest is in second. Trayton Lapsevich will come back to finish third. And again, that's your Team 126 racing on flag. So this race is done. We'll get ready for the super late model nightcap for the American iRacing League. They're going to go 60 laps here on The Rock. That's coming up forthcoming. We have audio that we need to fix. We are going to go to commercial break for a few moments. We will get that rectified, and we will come back along with Billy Smith joining me in the broadcast as well. A wild one for the late model stocks. Ryan Matthews wins in 51. This is Swag TV Esports coverage of the American iRacing League. We'll be back for the super late model show in a moment. Welcome back to Swag TV Esports with the American iRacing League, round number 1 from Rockingham. We saw a wild race in the late model stocks, and now we are preparing for the super late models, the ground pounders of pavement, 4-cylinder virtual carburetor, go fast. They're ready on the rock for their 60-lap event. But first, it is time to qualify. I'm Wesley Outland of MAV TV and Speed 51, and joining me in the booth is David Polins. I know I kept saying that it was going to be Billy Smith. He'll be our in-race reporter from time to time. But joining me is David Polins. David, we saw a wild late model shootout finish won by Ryan Matthews. What do you think the super race will entail?
Oh man, the Rock always brings the action, doesn't it? It's been an incredible show so far. I know they've had a lot of cautions. A lot of guys are being very impatient early on. I expect to see kind of the same thing here in the Supers. I'm hoping they spoke to each other a little bit and cooled off after that race, because I know there was some hot mics going on after the race and during with the race director. So I'm sure it's going to be a lot more action to come, Wesley.
Yes, that's for sure. And I think we've got our audio back working perfectly as well. We had a little technical audio issues, and we quickly went to the whip. Dustin McGinnis, Billy Smith, myself, along with David Polins to get that rectified. And sounds like that's back going good as well. And what a show we got here at Rock. You know, I've always said this, David, even though this track's a 1-mile track, and one of my other iRacing colleagues, Greg Rance, always says, well, Wesley, a mile is still a short track. I don't think that, though. This is a mile track that, honestly, you drive the rock like a short track.
Oh, absolutely. And I didn't even turn a lap until we got in practice tonight. And I immediately regretted it, because I was surprised how much quicker it is than, say, even Richmond. Richmond, where we've ran late models in person with a Denny Hamlin short track showdown, is a heck of a track. And we thought that was a super speedway of late models. But my mind's changed here. When the Cars Tour visits, and with us visiting here, we get a little prelude to the Cars Tour race that is coming up here at the Rock. And you can see how these guys are flying out here. It's very hard to get it to stick on the bottom. I'm interested to see the Supers, though, with their bump stops capabilities and the rules being allowed to stop the suspension. They should be a little bit more drivable up in the high lane, too. So we'll see some better side-by-side action coming into this one, I believe.
It is. This qualifying is ongoing. We don't want to really lose track and actually tell you what's going on. Qualifying is on the racetrack, and we have all these drivers that are on course trying to put down their best lap of speed. Derek Nickel in the 18, currently right now 4th. Bobby Keneally, Jake Silva, all these drivers on course getting ready for... actually, I think, is this qualifying or is this practice? I want to say this is practice, actually. So practice is actually continuing along. We have not started qualifying just yet. This is just practice, so we can elaborate a little bit more, David. But as we watch the 112 up the racetrack out of Greenville, South Carolina, he's also a dirt racer in Devin Morgan, and we'll see what he can do in the BKP Art Morgan entry number 112. A couple other cars on the racetrack as well, shaking them down. The 14 of Blake Neer, Trayton Lapsevich from Canada, and again, could we see, David, the 51 of Ryan Matthews sweep the weekend and win this race like he won the late model stock event a moment ago?
Oh, you always have to keep your eyes on Ryan Matthews. Definitely one of the guys that are going to be out front today battling for the wins. And if he can sweep, it just shows how good he is, because the American iRacing League has really stepped it up in only their second official season and really their third go at having a series. That these are some of the best guys in all iRacing. The strength of fields I'm seeing are very high, well over 4,000 I-rating across the board here. So Ryan Matthews has got a lot of work to do to stay out front. Hopefully he's got the setup under that machine to be able to do it. I'm thinking he's going to have to hold a guy off like Robbie Keneally and Alex McCollum. Those are two hot rods in these super late models.
A great field of talent for sure that we're going to keep an eye on and watch and see what they can do here as we are still watching these final cars make practice. We're seeing Travis Pryor on the racetrack right now. And again, they'll get ready for their 60-lap main event. And we are joined by our in-race reporter. I thought he was going to be joining me in the booth, but he is not. In-race reporter as we watch Travis Pryor in the silver and blue 02 exiting turn 4, and that is the man of Swag and Swag-TV Esports, Billy Smith. Billy, we had a pretty interesting late model stock race you were a part of. What a wild finish.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. I was kind of wondering how that was going to go. I kind of missed the start of that and kind of had to fill in where I went, and it was really fun. But yeah, it's pretty exciting. That finish was definitely something we'll probably add to our highlight reel.
Yeah, definitely, and at least the audio worked good for the finish of the race. I'll at least give you that much for sure. And we got a good one up. It looks like qualifying has actually concluded. It was qualifying, actually, David. My apologies. And it looks like Alex McCollum is the quick qualifier in the 09 machine. And the man out of New Jersey is ready to bring the field to the green flag of 24. Make that check, 23 super late models. David Polins is joining me in the broadcast booth. There's no way you could join me racing and announcing unless you're just a multitasker. Here you go.
Oh, I would love to do that sometime. I think I'd have my hands full. It's hard enough to do it on a stream when I'm streaming by myself and trying to talk. I end up in a lot more wrecks than I do up front. I'm looking at Alex McCollum here. He ran a 21.966 in qualifying, your second place position. Almost 0.3 slower with a 22.232. And one thing I can tell you about Alex McCollum, he comes from the same town I do in New Jersey, and I know they produce some good speed out of there.
And without further ado, we are ready to introduce the starting lineup for this event. It will be 60 laps around the Rockingham Speedway. Starting lineup on the pole. Alex McCollum on the pole in the 09 machine. To his outside, the 75 of Landon Huffman. Row number 2 will find RS Center in the 110, Derek Nickel in the 18. Row number 3, Devin Morgan in the 112, Blake Neer in the 14. Row number 4, now that's row 3. Row 4 will find Thomas Axum in the 13 and Robbie Keneally. You mentioned David in the number 1. Trayton Lapsevich and Alan Peterson round out your top 10 starters.
Absolutely. I see another big name there, Trayton Lapsevich with Reaper Speed Labs. He puts a lot of work in on these setups. I'm looking forward to seeing his race setup. I'm sure a lot of these guys focus more on the race, knowing it's going to be a 60-lap feature. They got to keep the tires underneath of these things. Very easy to burn the right front here.
And we'll introduce the rest of the starting lineup. The field begins to roll. Alan Peterson, Zach Miracle, Bladen Edwards from Pensacola, Florida, along with Landon Pimbleton, Sam King, Tyler Payne, Jake Silva, Kyle Fowler, and Travis Pryor. Carson Nagy in the top 19. A couple cars I don't think has answered the bell, including Adam Burbridge, Brian Matthews, Gregory Moon. We're waiting for those drivers to get staged, and we are ready to go racing here in just a few moments. 60 laps around Rockingham Speedway, David Polins.
Absolutely. I'm seeing actually one more on the tail end of the field there. Ryan Matthews is going to be starting from the rear. He did not get a qualifying lap in. Something with iRacing, if you touch the wall, get a little bit sideways, you can actually lose your laps. So anyway, we're getting ready to come to the green here. Alex McCollum is going to take him to the green flag. And we're off, guys. Let's go racing here at the Rock.
Pace truck is in there in the restart zone. Green in the air at Rock. We're underway. 60 laps, the nightcap for the American iRacing League Late Model Series opener.
Alex McCollum takes an early spot. Go ahead there, bud.
Oh, go ahead, man. We're underway. It's your show.
Absolutely.
Leads in 3.
McCollum takes the lead. He's going to leave it about 5 car lengths ahead of Landon Huffman here, back to RS Center in 3rd.
Out of turn number 4, the start-finish line. 1 lap in at full song. Alex McCollum, the man out in front. Landon Huffman of the 75 machine sits in 2nd. Center, the RS Center, that's with an S and not a C, sits in 3rd of the 1. And Devin Morgan, Thomas Axum, top 5. And right now they all play nice single file for the time being off turn 4.
Absolutely got a little bit of racing going on towards the back end of the pack, but for the most part, the top 5 has stretched itself out. Still, RS Center is actually in the clutches of Devin Morgan here. He's looking to make a strong run to the front. He's already up 1 position since the start. Thomas Axum is already up 2.
Out of the corner, out of turn number 4, watching these drivers battling up the high banks here at the Rock, down to the tri-oval, back to start finish. And again, this race will be 60 laps. We're on lap number 2 of 60. I think that's another thing we're going to have to work on with Dustin, is having a lap counter. It'd be cool to have like a lap counter. I think somebody had commented in the chat box or saying, hey, what lap are we on? So we'll work on that, a lap counter.
We'll have to keep them updated here. I got them going to lap 5 here, so we'll keep them updated
Yes, sir.
every 5 laps, key them in what's going on here. But right now, McCollum continues to stretch out that lead over Landon Huffman. We're looking a little bit further, or sorry, we're actually staying right up front here with an 09 machine. Still McCollum, he's running kind of a wicked line, drives in real low, and then sweeps it wide coming out of 4. Completely different than the late models were just a moment ago there, Wesley.
Yeah, doing well right now, staying out of racing continues on as they work their way off the corner. By the way, I want to thank all the sponsors again on Swag TV Esports, including Team 126 Racing. Caution comes out, you'll see the flames and the yellow flag. ComServe Wireless, all more information at ComServeWireless.com. Massman Family Racing, Studio Displays, and of course Swag E-Racing and this event sanctioned by the American iRacing League. Racing underway, still clean and green for the moment as we are approaching now opening 10 laps in this 60-lap contest. 6 laps in, McCollum, Huffman, Center, Morgan, and Neer your top 5, and it's getting a little heated there for Lapsevich trying to climb the ladder.
Oh yeah, Robbie Keneally actually swung all the way down to the apron there. He's still in the same position as he started this race in 8th, but Trayton Lapsevich is up 3 or 4 spots already from the beginning, 3 just in the last lap.
Good show being put on. Alec Colum out of New Jersey leading the way in that number 09 machine. You see the top 3 right there as they cross the start-finish line. Actually, my apologies, that was inside the top 5. That was actually around Center, Morgan, and Neer. And that going on off the back straightaway. There's your leader, picking him up. McCollum out of New Jersey. The 09 hitting his marks. Perfect distance away from Landon Huffman. RS Center. And David, it's kind of a little early right now to try to make some daring moves, to make some passes. Knock these laps off really quickly. I think we see a different than what we saw in the late model stock race earlier.
Oh, completely different. You know, the late models took no holds barred there, just trying to get to the front. Everybody got really racing hard towards the back of the pack early, trying guys that didn't really hit their lap in qualifying. And, you know, what ended up happening, cautions breed cautions. These guys start getting impatient. 20 laps goes by. I was sitting in 13th going, man, I got to go now. And that's what got me in a wreck. I got a little bit impatient myself. So you see here a little bit opposite going on. These guys are biding their time. A few of them, I'm sure, such as Robbie Keneally, are thinking about that right front here early, knowing that eventually there's probably going to be a yellow flag at some point, Wesley.
And if people might not remember, when we had that wreck with the 77 of Trevor Ward, you were the car that was involved in that, in the 33.
Oh, yeah, we had to take her down pit road, and it wasn't pretty. The boys said it was going to take about an hour fixing, but apparently I probably could have made it back out there with as many yellows as there was in that race, but it happens. It's kind of the opposite of worlds sometimes when you're running an iRace. You get in one and it's a yellow every lap. You try to plan for that the next race, and now you see it's green flag the whole way and you're mired back in the field.
I was humming the Arley song, I Believe I Can Fly.
Oh, yeah. Wesley Ryan Matthews is up to 13th from that 22nd position. If we can get a chance, we'll have to swing back, see how his trump through the field is going.
Doing really good. We'll check on Billy Smith, our in-race reporter, currently on the racetrack right now. He is will be joining us from time to time as we have racetrack action ongoing. Alex McCollum, RS Center, Landon Huffman, Blake Neer, Devin Morgan, your top 5, Lapsevich, Axel Keneally, Nickel Anderson, your top 10, Pimpleton Matthews, the late model stock winner, Miracle and Fowler, along with Bladen Edwards in the top 15. Working their way back in the corners, number 1 and 2. The laps are on lap number 14 of 60. They're taking them away pretty quickly here. About to be a
They are flying
third of the way through, David.
They are. They're flying right through this race. They've all separated here, but they're starting to get a little bit racy there. You see Matthews is working his way. Just gets past, I believe that was Pendleton. Yep, he just passed by Pendleton, and Landon is just trying to hold on to that thing. They're back in 13th, 14th position. Ballard right there, right with him. Some good racing going on through the field here. Ryan Matthews is trying to show what it takes to go from front to the back, or sorry, from back to the front. So far, so good. He hasn't torn any fenders up for that thing just yet.
Yeah, definitely. Whatever he can to make it right for sure, and he has that going on definitely as they work their way up the high banks out of turn number 2 here at Rockingham, down the Thunder Alley as they call it, 3 wide for a moment in that battle, watching that go on into corner number 3. Boy, I'll tell you what, it's hot and contested, man. These super late models, man, when I found out that the car store is actually bringing the car store back and they were going to run it in March, and now they rescheduled it for October 30th, but again, due to getting the right tire samples and get the right tire testing done, that's why the race got postponed. But can you imagine super late models on the Rock? We're seeing it virtually, and we've seen it several times before with the Outlaw Super Late Model Series when Swag was involved, and it was on LSR TV and some other things. But, like, literally, when we see real super late models, I'm looking forward to that in October of 2021.
Oh, I'm definitely looking forward to it here. RS Center just made the move on Landon Huffman up to the 2nd position. He's going to start working on that gap between him and the 1st position at Alex McCullum. But I cannot wait to see these guys racing here. I always thought that my favorite sound in the world were the Cup cars going around either Daytona or even Dover when I was growing up. But after going to see these super late models live, there's nothing like it, man. I saw them at Hickory for a throwback during a Cars tour, and I had chills. I got chills down my spine right now thinking about it.
Alex McCullum still the man that leads the way along with RS Center. Landon Huffman currently in the top 3. Blake Neer and Devin Morgan, your top 5 as it stands. They're all single file on the racetrack. Another lap coming up on the board, and it is going to be lap number 20. We are 1/3 of the way through. So far, no Team 126 racing caution flag. And again, we have seen just sheer domination by the man out of New Jersey of Alex McCullum in that 09, David, really showing his talent. And now he is beginning to open up that interval from the 2nd place man of RS Center to almost 3.5 seconds as they go to turn 3 at the Rock.
He is definitely rolling. I'm looking at the lap times here. Let's see what we got. We got McCullum with a 23.847 last lap, actually into an 865 there on lap 22. But we go back to, sorry about that, RS Center. He's going to be following him with a 24.123. So as you thought the gap was closing when you're watching it visually, it's actually the opposite right now. RS Center struggles here with, I believe, some lap traffic. Or sorry, I apologize. It's Huffman on his back bumper. But yeah, absolutely. He's got about 2/10 he needs to pick up on McCullum, and he did it last lap. He just busted out a 913, Wesley. So it's not over yet. He may have some tire left under that machine that McCullum's already burned up.
McCullum, the man that's out in front. We are 23 laps in of 67 laps to the halfway flag here in this race that has so far been caution-free, and it has been a dandy of a good one. And RS Center still now losing ground. The interval now almost 4 seconds back now to Alex McCullum as we see some more great racing going on in the back of the pack. This is going on with Huffman, Neer, Morgan, Lapsevich in that pack, along with those drivers exiting in turn number 4, having their own little race there inside the top 5, David.
Yes, they are, and we're seeing Ryan Matthews already back up into the top 10 now from starting from the back. So we're seeing a lot of action going on. Thomas Axum is starting to feel those tires a little bit. He has fallen back to the 8th position. Keneally and Lapsevich take advantage of that, falling into the 6th and 7th position here, working on lap 26 right now.
Coming up to halfway, and Alex McCullum, the man that is doing a phenomenal job in this 60-lap super late model race, the nightcap for the American iRacing League Late Model Series opener. Friday night action here. Wesley Outland blends Dustin McGinnis on the production. We did have audio issues, but I told you we would fix it for the super late model race, and so far it has been good with just sheer domination by Alex McCullum in that 09. RS Center in the 2nd spot. Blake Neer, Huffman, Morgan, top 5. What do you think, David? It's just too early right now before we start seeing the intensity of the racing pickup?
Yeah, absolutely. As we see problems actually here on the backstretch, Tyler J. Payne is going to come down to pit road and work on that Conserve Wireless machine. He's having a little struggle issue. Looks like the right front's knocked in on that thing just a little bit. They are coming up off of turn 4. Little bit of issues. But yeah, it's going to come down to a head here. It's only, how far along are we here? Already I'm sorry, I lost the lap count. I lost the lap counter here too, Wesley.
We're 2 laps to halfway. We're coming up on halfway and 2 more laps, actually. Yep.
Gotcha. Yeah, they're hauling around this track. That's why I lost the laps. I was sitting on Tyler's here watching him, just seeing what was going on there with his machine. He's just rolling around the bottom, just trying to survive. Hamilton here, a little bit further back, sitting in 10th, has lost his way a little bit. He was on Matthews' back bumper here. And it looks like the field's slowing down here. Do we have a yellow?
I think we do. We have our first Team 126 Racing caution flag. Caution is out for the first time. Our production crew on Swag-TV Sports will find where the yellow flag came from and get ready to show you a replay of what happened here. Again, thanks to Team 126 Racing sponsoring the yellow flag. And here's a look at what happened. This is why we're under caution. Look at this car into the wall. Number 93, Carson Nagy. The car going on a tailspin, goes rim rides the wall, again gets up and over on his side, and then roof spins it down the straightaway here at Thunder Alley. Down to the bottom of the apron, and that's the cause of our first caution. Right at halfway, Dave.
Yeah, that's a reminder who was involved. I think did
yes,
the
sir.
exact same thing years ago here at Rock. Slid on his roof for a while. Very reminiscent of that. So
yeah,
the Rock's very unforgiving.
In the late model stock race, we had something that kind of seemed the same way, and I actually had mentioned that analogy as well. So we are under the yellow flag. Alex McCollum is leading the way in the 09. Blake Neer in second, RS Center third, and again, we're just after halfway. This will give them an opportunity to obviously be packed up with one another again, doubled up for the restart, and give an opportunity now for somebody to try to come after Alex.
Absolutely. I think Blake Neer, I think they're just faking pit road here a little bit, messing with each other. Either that or Blake Neer's giving up the track position, which, yeah, he does come to pit road here. Very surprising move from Blake Neer. I'm not sure what the plan is there. If he knows he can't win the race, some guys will just say, well, you know what, let me come down, do a little adjustment here or there. You're allowed to do some air pressures, maybe right rear spring adjustment, get this thing back where it needs to be. But I don't think McCollum's going to be much worried about him. He's got to worry about the guys behind him, including, I probably sound like a broken record, but Matthews has been flying.
Yes, right now Ryan Matthews just cracked the top 10 here just after halfway. 28 laps to go. Caution laps do count in this event. And we saw a double overtime for the late model stock race that saw Ryan Matthews win the race. Right now, as we look at the scoring ticker, 32 laps into the 60-lap event, David, Ryan Matthews is up 13 spots in the drop of the green flag.
Yeah, very incredible driving so far by Matthews. Shows that it's not just a one-race fluke, which we all know with Ryan. It's not. He wins a lot, but he's going to try to go prove it that he can get back up there in a super race. I see Carson Nagy has actually reported to the crews that he said, sorry, boys, some issues with my wheel. So something must have happened there, maybe unplugged from the computer. A lot of things can happen, just like on a real racetrack. You got to make sure your rig's up to snuff. I had that experience, pretty funny. My cat stepped on my extension cord and unplugged my monitor in only the Snowball Derby, the biggest race of the year. So,
oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, that was fun. Trying to drive with no screen to look out. It's like a hood going across your windshield, per se. But I believe we're stacking them up here, Wesley, getting ready to go green again with Alex McCollum on the front row.
We are. That's going to wrap up the Team 126 Racing caution. We'll get ready to go back to the green flag when they go back to the restart zone here at the Rock. Big thanks also again to ComServe Wireless. 24 locations in 3 states, including Virginia, Maryland, and Pennsylvania. ComServeWireless.com for more information. Massman Family Racing Studio Displays and Swag Esports for our coverage of the American iRacing League Late Model Series on Swag TV. Wesley Outland, David Polins, Dustin McGinnis in the production. We got Billy Smith, also one of our in-race reporters. Billy, a pretty clean race the first half as we get ready to come back to green.
Yeah, that's been great, and I'm not an in-race on this one. I knew better, so I raced the first one, but I'm gonna let these guys that know what they're doing, this one.
So he is our third man in the booth. Actually, he is not an in-race reporter. So well, that's good to know. We'll grab you more for interviews to talk. So back to green.
I think we got our own Larry Mack. I think he's sitting there breaking down the strategies for next week. That's what I'm going to say. That's your excuse, Billy. That's what we're going to go with. Is McCollum actually is gapping it already over Blake Neer, who I incorrectly said went down pit road. That was actually the 7 machine a little bit of a moment ago. But Blake Neer still already back about 10 car lengths on this start. Alex McCollum is just in a world of his own out there tonight, Wes.
Yeah, Gregory Moon in the 8, Adam Burbridge in the 7, and Carson Nagy, who brought out the caution flag for the first time, are those 3 cars that came down to the pit lane. We are back underway under green flag conditions. 36 of 60 laps, and look at this battle now going on for 2nd and 3rd, heating up for position. This is actually in the top 5, correction, top 6, in the top 10. Robbie Keneally, RS Center. Center was in 2nd. He is now fallen all the way back outside the top 10 in 7th position now, as he has lost ground on the pack, and Alex McCollum again is gone, pulling away from Blake Neer in 2nd.
Absolutely. Huffman trails right there on Blake Neer. Trayton Lapsevich trying to make his name known, following right behind that 75 machine, trying to just abide his time. I'm assuming the 75 is going to try to work on a 14 here. He gets a little bit of a run up off of 4, but not enough here going into 1. You have to be below the guy on entry. You cannot just dive the car in there. These are pros here. I'm sure a lot of us at Do iRacing understand that there's a lot of guys don't know when someone's down there on that left rear. You got to make sure you're there before you make the move. 75 trying to get in that position now, Wes.
McCollum, Neer, Huffman 1, 2, and 3, along with Lapsevich. That's that other blue machine in the mix, as well as Devin Morgan. We watch those drivers. They're coming up on 20 laps to go. Next time by, there's the battle for 2nd again for the bridesmaid spot of Blake Neer and Landon Huffman. Lapsevich right there. So is Keneally. So is Morgan. And RS Center now starting to show some strides of showing strength again to the line. 40 in, 20 to go here for the Supers at the Rock.
And there goes RS Center peeking in on Robbie Keneally here in Everything iRacing on Facebook. Super Late Model Series brought to you by AiRL. He takes the position from Robbie Keneally, and now Matthews goes to work on him. He's up 1 position since the restart, still trying to make moves coming from the back of the pack in that BC Workshop machine.
Back off a turn 4 to the start-finish line. McCollum still leads the way, working under 20 laps remaining in this 60-lap Super Late Model event to open up the next season of the American iRacing League Late Model Series. Ryan Matthews picked up the win in the Late Model Stock Race. What a wild finish that came down to 4 wide in double overtime. And now we set ourselves for what it's been, David, a quiet race, if you will. Only 1 yellow flag, but a good show that's going on here tonight at Rockingham.
I think we're definitely going to see a little bit more excitement here as the laps start counting down. 17 to go here, lap 43. We got the 32 machine, had a run on the 75 last lap, got a little bit tight underneath of him, and now he's got Devin Morgan on the back bumper. And now Morgan takes a peek, but he's got to be there, and they get together. There it is. That's what I was telling you about. You've got to be there before you make the move. The 32 tried to close the door. He wasn't quite clear. We don't have spotters up in these cars. You got an electronic spotter most of the time, and he was not clear there at all. Trayton, though, saves the machine. That's some professional driving by the Canadian there, Wes.
Let's give you your full-filled rundown because, yes, there is more than 10 cars on the racetrack. Alex McCollum leads. Blake Neer is 2nd. Landon Huffman 3rd. Trayton Lapsevich 4th. And Devin Morgan in the top 5. RS Center, Robbie Keneally, Ryan Matthews, the late model stock winner earlier, is 8th. Thomas Axum and Landon Pimbleton the top 10. Then you have Zach Miracle, Alan Peterson, Derek Nickel, Jake Silva, and Gregory Moon in the top 15. And around out the full rundown, Adam Burbridge, Carson Nagy, who brought out the 1 and only yellow flag, presented by Team 126 Racing. Tyler Payne with problems. He's off track. Kyle Fowler, Bladen Edwards, and other drivers unable to start, including Eric Still and Travis Pryor and Sam King with problems early in the going as well. Full-filled rundown as we come to 15 laps to go.
Not the day a lot of these drivers wanted here in Everything iRacing Facebook Super Late Model Series. And here we see the 32 again, just trying to hang on to it in front of Devin Morgan. But I don't think Devin Morgan's going to be so patient this time around after that last incident. And there it is. He gives them the bumper. They stack it up there. RS Center not giving any room to Devin Morgan there on the back bumper, but he's clear up off. I'm telling you, man, this racing's going to get tough here. They're going to start running out of patience.
You got to wonder, David, it's time to go. It's time to go, and I think they're showing that right now as you see that 0-2 trying to power on the inside of the 32 there. All these drivers fighting for position on the racetrack. It's go time, as you said. It's time for these guys, and a little sideways, a little bump draft, a little wiggle and a giggle and a jiggle and a bobble. Up the racetrack goes Lapsevich. He'll scamper and get out of harm's way. Opens the door for Morgan and Center to get by him. A 2-for-1 on the back straightaway at Thunder Alley.
That was a textbook move by Devin Morgan coming up off of 2 to get the run underneath of him. Never really touched him. If he did, it was a tiny little bit on the left rear, and he got under him on the way into 3. That is the video that should be shown around iRacing across the world. That was a great move off of 2 by that 112 machine. He's going to start trying to work his way to the top 3. But Trayton Lapsevich just trying to hang on for dear life to his teammate in the number 1 machine, who's going to give up the spot to Ryan Matthews. Matthews has worked his way into the top 7 already, man. What a race for Matthews. 50 laps in, it might be too little too late to get the win, but I'm sure he's looking for a top 5 here.
They'll come to the line. It is 10 laps to go now. Ready to put this one to bed here as Alex McCollum is still the leader. There's the battle for second. Landon Huffman, the red and black 75, closing in on Blake Neer for P2. Here he comes. He's got to run on the outside to the inside. He'll go single file, nose to tail, and he's looking for that spot in turn 1.
He's trying to make him think in the mirror there, man. He's dipping into the bottom, and it makes that 14 car think just that 1 split second. He might miss that mark getting in on entry. The 75s might not have the position, but he's in the place to be. He dives in there really deep into 3. He might be able to beat him in, but can he get up off as fast as that 14 machine can, as he actually stretched him out about a car length there?
Yeah. To the line, it is 8 laps to go. This race coming to an end here as Alex McCollum is still the man leading the way from the drop of the green flag. 7-0 this time by, and Blake Neer and Huffman continue to battle, David, for second off 3.
As of right now, it seems like everybody's been racing for second today, and the 75 machine peaks it down low, but he's not there. Is he going to try to force the issue? He does. See what I was saying, a 14 machine stayed a little bit high there, missed his mark because he thought the 75 was going to dive him. It did pay off for him. He was able to hold him off, but it might not last much longer for the 14 if he lets him get that bottom one more time.
Yeah, don't know how much time is left here. It is time to go. The laps are winding down as we are on lap number 54, this time by. 6 remaining. The battle for second goes on as the interval for the leader is almost 2.47 seconds, almost 5 seconds back on the interval. Now moving by lap traffic, lap cars. Burbage goes to the high side. He'll scamper out of the way and let him have at it, boys. To the line. Open hand from Barney the Flagman. 5 to go here at the Rock, and it's still McCollum, but there's a 3-car battle for the bridesmaid spot. It goes on in turn number 2 for silver.
Devin Morgan trying to make that textbook move again up off of 2. Doesn't quite have the spot, but he's going to make him think, make him use the mirror going into 3. 75 misses his mark there on entry to 112. Is going to try to pull him up off of 4. They got a run on him right now, but right now Devin Morgan drove from about 10 car lengths back all the way up there. He was just fighting a minute ago to get in the top 5. Now he's working on the top 3, and he turns him. He gets into the 75. They save it. Whoa, the 75's not going to take it, man. And they save it.
Morgan.
How'd he
Morgan
save
and Huffman,
it?
and they go on the
Morgan
wall again.
I don't think Morgan was going to let that one go. And the 75 wrecks himself trying to get back at him. Man, these guys won't wreck. I think I called them wrecking about 6 times.
Under the caution flag. Yellow flag out again. Shootout coming up just like we saw in race number 1 for the late model stocks. Won by Ryan Matthews. And you see again where Morgan and Huffman, they were not going to back down, David Polins.
Absolutely not. He had the space. That's exactly what happened to me in the last race. And positions are so deadly here, or so valuable here towards the end of the race. You don't want to give it up. He had the spot just a little bit, but remember I said earlier, you want to get up to that left rear, otherwise you're going to get the nose chopped, and sure enough, that's what happened. 75 kind of spun himself out there off of Devin Morgan. I'm curious how the race director is going to call this one. I'm saying it's a racing incident.
Yeah,
myself. Let these guys go back at it again.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I don't think that there was anything intentional done there, just simply a racing move, and they were fighting and clawing for that slot and seeing the end result. So, yeah, in my opinion, no penalty for anybody. Just racing deal, and we'll see how they sort it out.
Yeah, Wesley,
I really don't know if Morgan will go to the rear. Or the tail end of the field. I don't know what the call is, but in my opinion, even though they bounced off the wall and they kept going. So
they kept going, and in reality, there probably wouldn't have been a yellow if this was a regular, say, Cars Tour or NASCAR late model event on a local track, because they gathered it up. The flagman probably would have been tipping out with that yellow flag. Never probably would have pulled it, but yeah, incredible driving by the two of them to save it. But I have a feeling they're going to be, they both got the EOL here. Both of them are getting sent to the rear, so I'm sure that whole rivalry is not over. Something I have to say, Wesley, I always find it interesting when these guys get angry. They want to use the front bumper to knock someone around. It's a whole lot easier if you use the door, because now you knocked your nose off the car. So Huffman, after that little payback, I think he's going to be regretting it there in the back. He's probably not going to get too far after that little retaliation after the wreck.
Yeah, I hate to say it. I think he's going to be a sit-duck, if you will, as we'll get ready to go back for the restart. And mind you, as it was in the late model stock race, we are going into overtime for the super late model event here at the Rock as well for the American iRacing League. As Alex McCollum, there you see him in that 09, a strong performance for the man out of New Jersey. He leads the way. Blake Neer in second, RS Center third. Ryan Matthews up 18 spots in this race. David, he is right in the catbird seat to try to pull an upset win here.
Yeah, man, he's been lurking, and here he is. He's right there, sitting in fourth on the high side. These leaders get together, and next thing you know, he could be right there. Ryan's a very aggressive driver, so I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to get a good jump on this restart. McCollum, speaking of jumps, he hasn't jumped a restart per se. He controls them. That's his choice to go. Whenever that pace car leaves the banking, his time to go. It's a little different than real life. But he's stretched out every restart here so far, like 6-7 car lengths. So if any of these guys want a shot, they better be up on their toes and get after it this time. They can't be slacking or sleeping anymore.
Yeah, time to show your talents and show what you've got now, as it is time to go. Overtime number one. Rules of overtime. Leader takes the white flag. Race is official. If they do not, caution comes out. They'll re-rack them, restack them, and we will go again. Ready for the restart with McCollum on the inside. Blake Neer to the outside of the white 14 with the yellow numbers. Alongside in row number 2, Ryan Matthews up to third now. Ready to go with RS Center to his outside. Keneally and Lapsevich. Make our way back to the race zone. Overtime.
That's
green back out.
That's the best start for the rest of the field. McCollum not getting the start he's had all race long. Powers into one, though. Wow, what a move. He just kept her wide open. The 14 drops in line. And now RS Center back to the third position. McCollum stretches it out with the lead.
Ready to come to the line this time by out of turn number 4. To the start-finish line. They'll come to the white flag. One more lap to go. Final time for Alex McCollum. He leads. McCollum, Neer, Center, Lapsevich, Matthews on lap number 62 in overtime. They're coming to the checker this time by. What a show for Alex McCollum. It's his race to lose off turn 4, David.
Alex McCollum is going to come to the checkered flag to win here at the Rockingham Speedway. Breaking it down into second place, Blake Neer takes home the runner-up position. RS Center in third. Trayton Lapsevich comes home in fourth after some early contact. Ryan Matthews all the way from the back. What a storyline for him. Up nearly 20 positions to the 5th position. In 6th, Robbie Keneally. 7th, Thomas Axon. 8th, Landon Pemberton. And 9th, Derek Nickel. And 10th, Zach Miracle. I'll let you take it from here there, Wesley.
Yeah, there's your top 10 as they celebrate Alex McCollum getting ready to go to Rockingham Victory Lane, presented by Rockwell Tools. Moving on into the 11th position, Devin Morgan, Jake Silva, Landon Huffman in 13th, Alan Peterson, Gregory Moon, the top 15, and then it's Burbridge, Nagy, Payne, Fowler, Edwards, top 20. King and Pryor, the full field rundown. Eric Steele unable to start the race. When it's said and done, Alex McCollum, the big winner here in overtime. It only took one shootout to get it done, but Alex McCollum winning here for the super late models for the American iRacing League at the Rock. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we will try to grab a word with Alex McCollum and get his thoughts on his win here at Rockingham Speedway. You're tuned into coverage on Swag Esports TV. Welcome back to coverage of the American iRacing League on Swag TV. Wesley Outland along with David Polins. And we also had commentary with Billy Smith along the way as well. Checkered flag of the books. Ryan Matthews won the late model stock race and super late model race went into single overtime. We'll talk to the winner of Mr. Alex McCollum in a moment. But right now, we'll talk to third place man RS Center in the 110. RS, a dominating performance by McCollum, but you had to hold off a fierce battle inside the top 5 for second on back, and you get third.
Yeah, we had a good car. Special thanks to Ryan Kuhn and them guys for it, but not bad.
Absolutely. Good run there, RS Center, finishing in the top 3 there, man. What could you have done differently to get up there? It seemed like you were hanging out, or not hanging out, but, you were right there the whole time. Just seemed like you needed a clip more to get up there and battle with McCollum.
Yeah, probably just do a little bit of testing. Been so busy at work, we don't get much time to test no more, but, not bad.
Oh, definitely, man. Testing, I understand it goes a lot into this. You have anybody to thank right now for sponsors?
Yeah, Studio 10 Wraps. If you're looking for a wrap, look them up. Other than that, Ryan Kuhn Motorsports and Front Stretch Mafia.
A good
awesome,
run.
Man.
Yes, a good run for RS Center, and that driver will finish in the number 3 position. Thank you, bud. We're going to talk to the runner-up in the event, and that's going to be the driver in second, Blake Neer, the white in the yellow number 14. He'll settle for the second position. Blake, the last restart in overtime, you really had an opportunity to get there and make a run at McCollum, probably the best restart you had the entire race. Did you use up your tires? Ran out of time, or was McCollum just a stronger car here? And congrats on second place tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that first run there till like lap 30, I mean, we were probably the second fastest car on the track besides McCollum. But after the yellow, our tires just, the heat cycle just made us super tight, so we couldn't really do anything. We held on to second, surprisingly, so that was pretty good. But yeah, that last restart, I think I just read his mind and timed it. I was thinking about maybe roughing him up a little bit, but I decided it would be a bad idea.
Yeah, it seemed as though once you got down into turn 1 that McCollum kind of just had that car that could stick to the bottom and had the tires left over where he could dive out there and didn't really give you much shot to get to the rear bumper. I'm sure you would have done the same if you had that chance. So, man, I see you're from Canada. You got anybody you want to thank?
Just Legacy Esports and Trayton Laptovich.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I seen you guys running very well there. Are you work side by side with Trayton, or are you guys just friends?
Yeah, we're pretty close friends, so we share information.
That's awesome. We'll have to keep an eye on that in the future, man. Thanks for racing, and we'll be with Wesley with Alex McCollum here in just a moment.
Yeah, Blake Neer, good job there in the number 2 position. Just simply ran out of time in that overtime finish. And we're going to talk to the man out of New Jersey, Legends car racer in the INEX Legends US Legends International Series, and moving up to hopefully late models and more, and maybe one day the Snowball Derby. Alex McCollum, another great esports win for you, bud. Talk about that sheer domination ride here at Rockingham tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you. First off, I just want to thank Daniel Pope. Me and him worked on this today. It was a last-minute deal for me running this league race, so I hit him up today, and I'm like, "Hey, want to build a car?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." And, this thing was just a rocket, and I can't believe how fast it was.
Yeah, man, you were on rails out there. I said it was because you're from the same town I'm from, but that doesn't say much because I pretty much finished 30th in that first race. You turned it around for us Jersey boys. How'd the car feel out front, man? It just seemed like you were kind of milking the field there, just letting them kind of save tires.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't think our pace was gonna be this quick. Honestly, this car was probably the best car I've drove on iRacing. It's probably better than the Snowball car. It's sad to say that since I won the Derby, but this car was just unbelievable. I just gotta thank everyone at 09 for putting all the work in.
A really strong run. Alex, you run on many leagues. I mean, you run dirt, you run pavement on the iRacing server. How do you adapt, and how competitive is it? staying in tune racing with all of these great competitors across the country virtually?
It's tough. I'm trying to do everything to make myself a better driver. I'm trying to try dirt, try road course, trying everything to get myself better. That's the only thing you could do as a racer is try to get yourself better. But to compete with these guys, it's a lot of practice, a lot of laps, so a lot of time. But looks my time's paying off. Hopefully we can keep 2021 keep going like 2020.
All right, buddy. Before we let you go, thank your sponsors and congratulations again.
09 Motorsports, Daniel Pope, everybody at 09. McCall Manufacturing, if you want a good chassis, make sure to hit me up. But overall, thank you guys for this league.
Alex McCollum, another big win to open up season for the American iRacing League Late Model Series here tonight at Rockingham Speedway. Going to bring in Billy Smith for closing thoughts. Billy, your thoughts of this event tonight, and we'll get ready for the next one next Friday night for Swag TV.
I think we got technical difficulties with Billy. He's
okay.
Does not hear us.
There
Oh, here he is. There he is.
Yeah,
we got him live here.
No, I thought tonight was pretty good for the most part. I thought the second race was great. I mean, both races were awesome. We have a lot to learn on our broadcast side, and we'll get it figured out. But I mean, I think for tonight, for kicking off the AiRL, we had two great races, and I think we have a lot to look forward to.
Crazy four-wide finish there when it was all said and done when Ryan Matthews won the late model stock portion of the race, and double overtime, single overtime for Alex McCollum and his sheer domination in the 09 winning here tonight for the Super Late Models. David Polens, I'll now throw it to you. Your final closing thoughts as we wrap things up here tonight from the Rock.
I just can't wait to see more next week. I'll be in the Legends and the Late Models, but I'll probably be joining you again for the Super Race if I can. Just thanks to everybody that puts this on for us with Billy Smith and Tyler Payne behind the scenes. And then we got the American iRacing League that runs it all with Team 126 Racing, ComServe Wireless. Today's round one was brought to you by Massman Family Racing. Thank you to them for jumping on board for this race. Studio Displays, and then, of course, Reaper Speed Labs presenting both of our series tonight, and Everything iRacing Facebook page. Make sure you join that after this broadcast. They have literally everything iRacing that you can find, any setup help, anything like that. You can go there, get tips, and find products. And back to you, Wesley, man. Great night. Had a lot of fun with you.
A fun time here at Thunder Alley for sure. And remember, if you'd like to know more details about the American iRacing League, go to American iRacing League on Facebook for details, and Swag, Simulation World Auto Group, and Swag TV. And you can find the schedule and all the information on the upcoming race broadcast. That's going to wrap things up here tonight from the Rock for the American iRacing League Late Model Series. Again, congratulations to the winners of Ryan Matthews and Alex McCollum. For Billy Smith, for producer Dustin McGinnis, for David Polens, I'm Wesley Outland. God bless you all. A crazy time in our country right now. Please keep on praying for America. And as always, thank you for watching Swag TV.